Hey guys, it's a new week of vlogs. It's Friday, the sun is shining, but it is cold out. I think the high today was in the 40s, and this morning when I went to work it was in the 20s. When I walked at lunch, I think it was in the 30s still. It is cold, and they're saying we might get wintry weather, as in snow or something this weekend, but then a lot of forecasts say just rain, so we'll see. I think it's still supposed to get up to the 40s, so if it did snow, it'd have to be at night. We'll find out. We'll find out what happens this weekend. Today, worked all day as usual, and tomorrow we are going to take Christmas down, which makes me a bit sad, but it's time. It's time to take it down, but January and February are so great. I love leaving it up for a little while, but yeah, it's about time to take it down. And then also, if I get time this weekend, I don't know if I will have time, I'm gonna try to set up a sort of a YouTube studio for us, so we don't have to keep putting up lights, taking lights down, putting up tripods, taking tripods down, that kind of stuff in our guest room, because we never have guests, ever. It's up there, it's set up as a guest room. No one ever comes and stays with us. I bet it's been 2 years or more since we've had an overnight guest. Plus, we could still use it that way. We just need to reorient some things in the room. So I might do that this weekend, we'll see. We started moving things around before I started filming. So this couch used to be on this back wall here, and so we're moving it to make it sort of a YouTube studio over here. We don't know if we'll like it, we don't know if it'll look good, but we're gonna give it a try. Unfortunately, we still have the same issue where you've got a reflection of the light in something. Hopefully, if we have the camera angled right, we won't see that. And here's the couch. That's the fold-out bed that you saw a minute ago. So we'll see how this works. We're gonna play a little Rock Band 4. We totally did all right on Take On Me, and that's not an easy song to sing. Brian and I were both singing, and we got fireworks and everything, and we got 5 stars. You guys, it is Saturday, and it's a sad day because we're taking down Christmas today, but it has to be done. Rip the Band-Aid off. All right, time to take Christmas down. Bye, Christmas. Bye, monorail. One more time, Elsa, and then I have to take her battery out. I'm slowly getting all the keepsake ones put up. They take the longest. A lot of them have batteries that have to be taken out with the teeny tiny screwdriver. Brian's gonna end up having the whole house done before I finish these. It's so sad. Christmas is down. That's where our big Christmas tree was over there. Now we've got our dining room table back where it belongs. Brian had to drop some stuff off over at his family's house, and so he stopped and picked me up lunch, which is so nice. It's from a local Mediterranean place. It's so good. I think we're finished setting up YouTube Central now. Move my tripod, move my lights. There's another one right here. And so there's this TV. So this is where Brian does his video games and stuff like Call of Duty. We have a TV downstairs too, but this is where he comes for gaming. So now it'll be, this will still fold out and work, but it'll be basically gaming, YouTube studio primarily now. Hey guys, I'm trying some test runs to see how this is gonna work. Right now I can tell the camera's way too high. For me anyway. It might be okay for Brian's height. So I'm gonna keep playing with it. Also, I'd like it to be closer to me so I don't have to yell at it, and so I don't have to use a secondary mic. Oops, just got a text. Anyway, this is a much better orientation, I think, when I'm by myself. When I'm with Brian, I'm gonna have to push it further out. And there's no table here for external mic to sit on, so I'm gonna have to figure something out for that as well. We usually put it on the dining room table, which is right in front of us, and because when the camera's further away, if we don't use an external mic, you get an echo effect. It doesn't sound very good. Might be a little less echoey in this room because there's carpet, whereas we have all hardwoods downstairs, so we'll see. But if I'm just by myself, I think this is gonna be awesome. And I don't see a light glare in the pictures, which is what I was worried about. But if Brian is with me, I think it's gonna have to be probably back there, maybe a little closer. He's tall, so I'm trying to envision where his head would be, but yeah, I think it's gonna have to probably be out there. All right, Brian decided to come in so we could give it a demo, and I just realized there's one problem right now. I'm gonna go ahead and film it so I can look at the footage and see how it looks to me, but This couch is really deep. I've never really sat on it before, and for a tall person, it's perfect. For a short person, my feet are not touching the ground, and I've got a pillow shoved behind my back. So Brian was saying...
Do something with the lighting too, I got a shadow.
Yeah, you have a shadow, so I've got to play with the light.
Is it a shadow, or is that Peter Pan shadow?
It could be Peter Pan. But I don't like the fact I'm sitting more forward than he is, but I have no choice. Otherwise, I'm kind of like if I take this pillow out, I'm like laying down because I'm so short. So I'm gonna have to figure out something for that. Or Brian said we might have to bring chairs up here, but I really don't want to do that because that's a lot of work. Like to have to carry chairs upstairs, or maybe we can buy some cheap chairs just to leave up here. But
yeah, I think it's time for me to put my falafel in.
Actually, stay there so I can fix your shadow, and then you can go put your falafel in. He's cooking falafel, the Trader Joe's falafel, right? We've made that before in previous vlogs. All right, this is the test. I think I've got the shadows in a better, like not as pronounced. They're not gone. I don't think there's any way to totally have no shadow. It's because we usually don't sit this close to a wall. I think that's what the issue is. And then Brian looks a little dark to us, even though I've got these huge bright lights. It's hard to tell, but I'm gonna put this out there for you guys to critique. And then also I'm going to look at it on the computer instead of this tiny little screen that I'm looking at on the camera to see which is better. In another exciting news, as you guys know, I got rid of the Osmo Pocket. I returned it because it died. And if you didn't see that video, I'll link it above. It died is the short story there. And I really wanted to get another one, but I did a ton of research and their support is not good. At least that's what I found, and that's experience I had. And so I'm really reluctant to get another one. And the battery is not replaceable, it's built in. So that means at some point it will die. Yeah. I mean, batteries don't last forever.
It's so weird seeing that, you know, all their other products, well, no, they do make a bunch of other non-drone products, but of course all the drones have removable
batteries, right. And so it's odd that you can't take the battery out. And also I don't like that you can't swap batteries out, like have extra batteries when you're at Disney all day. We go through several batteries. Yeah. So I decided not to get another one because I even looked into getting extended warranties from like resellers that would protect me. All of them make you go through the manufacturer while it's under manufacturer warranty, so it still didn't help. Yeah, and plus they're expensive. So instead, I decided to go with the GoPro Hero 7 Black. I found out from Amazon it's a little cheaper than everybody else, at least that I could find. And they have a 30-day money-back guarantee because it's sold directly from Amazon. Now, if you buy it from a reseller through Amazon, that's different, but this is directly from Amazon, the one that I bought. There's multiple ones on there, so you'd have to look. And so that way I can try it for 30 days, see if I like it, and see if it's going to suit my needs, but I think it will. It doesn't have the gimbal, which is a bummer, but it does have that, I think it's called hyper stabilization or something like that.
Hyper warp?
No, that's motion. That was time warp or something, which is this motion lapse, but it has a bunch of cool features. Is it going to be quite as cool as the Osmo? I don't think so. The Osmo has this just crisp picture clarity and the gimbal that I don't think I'm going to get from the GoPro, but the GoPro does things that the Osmo doesn't. It's waterproof. As is, you don't even have to put a case on it. The Osmo is supposed to get a waterproof case at some point, but it looked weird. Like we both saw, it's like a weird case.
It's like an ice cream cone.
It did. And then also it will handle bumps and bangs. So my old Sony Action Cam was sort of an equivalent of that. And that's the one I mount on my bike. That's the one I put in the ocean. It's the one I take to the beach. And so this can handle that, whereas the Osmo is fragile. So I think overall this is going to be a better complement to the G7X, which is what I'm on right now. I still need a sort of a rough and tumble camera, and I think this will sort of do both things. Plus, like I said, it has some of those cool features that the Osmo had. They're not exactly the same features, but the motion lapse looks pretty cool. They call it something like time warp. It's where you can move and do a motion lapse, and it's highly stabilized, and so it gives you that cool looking blurry effect, like if you're walking down a street of people moving towards you and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. So we'll see. I got 30 days to try it and find out if I like it or not. It's supposed to come today. We'll see. Yeah. While we're upstairs, we can take a look at Pumpkin Watch 2019. They're still there, but they're slowly collapsing out. You can really tell they're starting to collapse in on themselves. This is why I'm getting a new camera. This is the old Sony Action Cam, and the reason it looks so sad is you have to put it in a case to be able to mount it to either a tripod or to a, what do you call it, handle of any kind. And the case broke, and they don't make them anymore. And so we had to buy this sort of, you're supposed to put a phone in this.
Yeah, this is a phone holder.
It's not meant for this, but Brian saw a YouTube video on how to make it work for the Sony Action Cam.
Basically just rubber bands.
Yeah, and so
it works though.
It does, and it does have a really nice waterproof case though that works really well. The problem is you can't hear the sound very good. Like if I talk to you guys while the waterproof case is on, you can't really hear me. So that's hence getting the GoPro, but I'm still keeping this as a backup because the camera still works.
Yeah, I mean, this is sturdy.
It's a sturdy camera, yeah. It's exciting. It's Instapot unboxing time.
Front or back? I don't know. Is it the same? It's the same?
I think it's the same,
Okay.
but the other side had the opening. So this is the one we ended up getting. I know I mentioned in the previous week's vlog I was trying to decide, and I actually ended up buying this before you guys had time to leave comments. So if you did leave comments, I appreciate them. I just haven't seen them yet.
Yeah. A lot of manuals.
A lot of manuals. If you're not familiar with Instapot, I think most of you are, but if you're not familiar with it, it's kind of like a pressure cooker, a crock pot, an egg cooker, a yogurt maker. It's all these different things in one.
Or excuse the loud noise, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna be loud. Ah.
Wow, this thing's huge.
We ended up getting the 8-quart size due to recommendation of a friend of mine. Said that as much as we batch cook, we would want the 8-quart. Yep, that's big. That's definitely really big.
Where are we gonna store this? We already thought about that yet?
No, we haven't even thought about that. Nope. That's one of our biggest problems. We don't have a big kitchen, and so storage is a constant issue for us since we cook so much.
Is this way open? So some accessories, some spoons, and who doesn't have a cup measure already, but in case you don't, there's a cup measure.
Extras are nice, except they're plastic.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of plastic stuff.
So there's a little trivet that we'll be using a lot. So you can set eggs in this and also set pots.
Just for fun, Brian got all our crock pots out. So there's our new Instant Pot, our big crock pot, the one that we got, I think when we got married. I can't remember for sure, it was a gift. And like I said, we replaced the lid. I mentioned that in last week's vlog. It used to be plastic, so we got a glass lid. And then this, last but not least, this little one, which we mostly use to keep dips warm, to be honest. We don't cook a lot. Well, we cook the dip in it, though. Yeah.
So the funny thing is, all these have their own uses.
Yeah, they do. I mean,
we'll still use all these.
Well, and you saw me last week. I used these two together, and I will still make things that way as well because I love crockpot cooking because I love walking away and not having to do anything. Plus, I can tell just looking at these, even though this is 8-quart, this is a better orientation for like a really big chicken or something. I think this is
6 quarts. Is that right?
I'm not sure, but the elongated orientation's nice depending on what you're cooking. We have a little squirrel outside. He looks cold. Sorry, squirrel. And it looks like he's looking at the pumpkins. Hey guys, it's Sunday morning, and we're going to use the Instant Pot this morning to make a frittata. Well, actually, I think Brian's going to do it because I'm going to be gone, but he's going to do it while I'm gone. And then I don't know what else we're going to do today, and I'm definitely going to open the GoPro and check that out. I was really, really hoping to take a hike and try. It has this sort of time warp thing they call it. It's like a motion lapse. And it is 35 and raining, so that's not gonna happen today. We did dodge the bullet with the snow though. No snow and nothing frozen, so I guess that's good.
Instant Pot time, so we're gonna make the frittata this morning. Over here we have some onions and red bell pepper in the saute, just sauteing in the skillet, and in a little bit I'm gonna add, it calls for an entire package of sliced mushrooms. Okay, the mushroom mixture is done, and it says when it's done, add in 2 cloves of garlic and some lemon. Interesting thing about this recipe, it says not to cook down the spinach, so that's an entire package of spinach right there. It says just add it in to the egg mixture when you put the whole thing into the Instant Pot. But right now I'm gonna get cracking. Oh, I see what I did there. Get cracking on the eggs. And so it calls for 8 eggs. I have the knob set to, I think it's called sealing, so it's gonna be pressurized. And we're gonna go down here, do manual. And then they said 25 minutes. Okay, I'd say after 5 minutes it started steaming at the top, and then now I see my 25-minute timer, so now I guess it's reached the right pressure and the cooking will begin now. Okay, the 25-minute timer is up. Directions say for 10 minutes, just let it sit and naturally release the pressure. So I'm assuming just leave it on sealed, and then after 10 minutes, I'm gonna move this knob either to the left or right to vent. Took it out of the pot with the aluminum foil sling, so that worked out well. Took the lid off, and it is set really nice. It smells really good. You can see all the spinach, but really I think the spinach did cook down. It looks good. Definitely would not use all the spinach because it really asked for more. You saw the extra I did not put in. So I'm gonna slice this up, stick it in containers, and put it in the fridge, and this will be like easy breakfast in the morning for the week. Awesome. Okay, Carmen's gonna try the fruits of my labor. This is the frittata.
Yeah, I hate I missed the process, but I guess I'll see it when I edit the video. Mmm.
Is it tasty? Mm-hmm. It was easy to make. Carmen did make a good point that you could, with the time I spent, could have just done it in the oven, but
yeah.
I think I could do it a lot faster next time because I know what I'm doing now.
Everything gets faster.
Yeah.
Well, and when you film, it actually takes longer too because you have to keep stopping and getting the camera. But that's really good, and I like all the veggies. Like, it's got a lot
It's jam-packed, yeah.
Another thing I'll say that I kind of like it better than the oven is it's not dried out on top. It's very moist. Like, when you cook a frittata in the oven, the top usually browns a little and gets sort of like almost a crust on top. A little bit. This is much more moist, so I like it.
Cool.
In other exciting news, I cleaned and conditioned our leather sectional, which takes forever. It's a really labor-intensive process, and it's actually not done because first you clean it with this leather cleaner. I use this leather honey stuff. I love it because it really has no smell to it at all. And then after you clean it, you have to go over the whole thing again with the conditioner. And it's hard. The conditioner's hard to use because it's almost got a waxy consistency or sticky consistency, so it doesn't wipe on nice and easy. It takes some elbow grease. That's why it looks so shiny, but then you have to let it sit for hours, and then you have to go back and wipe like any excess off. Like, I can already tell right up here, there's gonna probably be some excess left on it, but it seems to work really well because I've done it, we've had this a long time, and it's kept it looking really nice. Pretty exciting. Gonna open up my GoPro 7 Black. I am not going to do an unboxing proper. I don't want to bore you guys with that, but I'm gonna take it out and at least touch it and look at it. I really wish, yeah. Make sure it's real. I really wanted to go out there and go hiking, but it's just horrible weather. I mean, horrible weather today. I can handle the rain, I can handle the cold, but not together. 35 and raining is just miserable. I got the most basic model because I figured I'd rather hand select my accessories rather than buy a big package. It was kind of overwhelming. There were a lot of packages where you could get sort of everything with it. The one thing I'm going to need is a way to carry it, so I'm sort of wondering if I should have got one of the ones that had a sleeve to put it in. But in any case, here it is. It's super tiny. You can tell by the size of my hand. And then they give you a couple of these mounts, which I haven't looked at the directions yet, but I'm assuming since they have the 3M sticky stuff on the bottom, I'm assuming those are for mounting on various things so that you can put the camera on it because it slides into that. And then a battery and a assumed charging cable. Yeah. My mom got Brian this for Christmas. Do bears sit in the woods? And yeah, they do.
He's sitting in the woods.
I like his little facial expression. It's pretty funny. Creek is definitely up from the rain, and Brian just told me that, I don't know how it'll show up on the video, but right over here, some kids dug a giant hole. I mean, it's huge. There's a huge pile of dirt. I could see it. And then that white thing out there is a piece of plastic that washed up. So Brian said he's gonna go out there and move that because it's been there for a while. But I don't know why they dug that big hole. Boredom?
Kids being kids.
Kids being kids. All right, I'm on the Canon G7X right this moment, but right after this, I'm gonna switch over to the GoPro Hero 7 Black and get a little trail footage with that. And I might even try to do the motion lapse or time warp, whatever it's called, if I can figure that out. Is it raining again?
It's kind of doing something.
It's sleeting? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's cold. It's really cold. You can tell by looking at it. It's cold. So let's go out and give this a try.
Walked all the way down there.
Yeah, he has to walk all the way down the creek to get this piece of plastic, but we can see this from our house and we don't want it. We came over to get a close-up of the pumpkins and we almost wish we hadn't. So nasty at this point. I've got gloves on so I can't zoom, so hang on, bear with me while I take my glove off. Gross. We're We're back in the house, and look at that, no more plastic. You still see the big hole, but no more ugly plastic. Thanks, Brian. It is Monday, and it feels like a Monday. It was overcast almost all day, and it was hovering around 33, 34. I think it's finally to the 40s now, but I mean, at lunch it was still 33 when I walked. It has been cold. It's been a cold one. Thankfully not too windy, which makes it much better. If the sun would come out, it would have been even better though. Now the sun looks like it's like partly cloudy, so I think we're getting there. I think tomorrow's supposed to be better. I think it's supposed to get 40s, like higher 40s tomorrow. And then finally, I think after that we get back to what is sort of normal for this area, which is around highs in the 50s for this time of the year. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't mind 50s that much. I do mind today. Today was a little cold. Anyway, I did want to take a minute to mention our friends over at the WDW Main Street podcast. We've been friends with them for a really long time. I'll try to put some pictures up here where we've met them at Disney. And I've been on the show before a handful of times. And so they're just really great guys. And they are coming up on their 500th episode. If you don't already listen to them, you definitely should, especially if you love Disney. That's all they talk about is Disney. And they have excellent news coverage. That's one of the things I really like, that you get to keep up with everything that's going on at Disney. I feel like I keep up pretty good. I follow all these blogs on Twitter and stuff like that, but then they'll still read something that I miss. So they really keep up with all the news. Be sure to check them out. Plus their editorializing is funny. I enjoy it. Keeps me very entertained. I usually listen to them while I'm on my walks. So I will put a link to them in the show notes, but they are on iTunes, they are on Stitcher, and they are on Podbean and maybe other places, I think. And they also have a website as well, but I will put a link to one of those below so you can easily find them and see what their name is. It's the WDW Main Street podcast. You should be able to search for that and it would come right up on iTunes if that's what you use for podcasts. Today I'm gonna do a little bit of cooking, not the major, but there's a couple of things that I want to make, so I'll take you along for that. Today I'm batch roasting 2 trays of organic butternut squash, which is already in there, and I'm about to start cranberry sauce, and this is so easy. I just take whole organic cranberries that are frozen, put them straight from frozen into the pan, and then when they start to, I just simmer them. When they start to burst, I turn the eye off and add a couple of tablespoons of maple syrup, and it's really good and super easy. It's Thursday, so that's going to wrap up this week's weekly vlog. As always, we appreciate subscribes, likes, shares, and comments. Until our next adventure.
Here with the band from Stryker.